Okay. Let's do this. So I lowered my research rate because I want to upgrade a couple units before we do this. I don't want to have a navy. I don't want to do a mixed doctrine tactics. I don't need any of that. All I need to do is attack him, and I'll win. I'd like it if more of my units were healed before we start this. I basically pulled them right off the left flank to the right. Really wasting no time here. I said we were going to switch civics. We don't need nationhood. Vassalage is still not bad for us. We're not going to draft, are we? It's going to produce too much unhappiness. So I said we needed nationhood. But we're not going to do that after all. He's only got one city out west that we're targeting, and it's Susa. It's a big production city. See, all of his production, I mean, these cities aren't bad, but most of his production is here. So, we're going to win this war pretty early on. He could get assembly line next turn. So it's time to go. That's the tile we want to attack from. We don't want to deal with the river crossing. Okay, 2 turns from now, we're going. We don't want to deal with the river crossing. So we're going to cross the river and then attack him. If you see what I'm saying. He could be researching assembly line right now, and if he is, I mean, we're worried. There's no doubt about it. He probably has physics already. So we're not going to think about that at all. We want barracks everywhere. We want barracks, coal plants, factories, forges. And then we're ready for those cities to be producing infantry. I've got like other things going, like banks down in Medina, because it's producing so much money for us. Yeah. I mean, he could beat us. It's theoretically possible. But I don't think it's pretty likely. We can't start a great... Oh, we can. Alright. My bad. That's gonna help a lot. So, how do I feel about this game? Well, I didn't play the best, but I played well enough. I pressed my advantages. I did some things that maybe were a little risky. There were definitely times where the AI could have attacked and killed me if they had wanted to. The thing is, I knew the AI that were around me, and I wasn't really worried about them. I knew Arabia was not going to early rush me.
I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use.
He did a lot of damage with cavalry. I mean, a lot of damage. But hopefully this is his almost entire military. And we're about to take a major production city from him, which is really gonna hurt him. And if all those things are true, we've won. We pressed the advantages that we had. I really think that we did a lot with kind of a little at certain points. We'd had the most land, we knew we had the most land, and we took advantage of that throughout the whole game. Pretty consistently here. If I could have done things differently, the smarter play would probably have been to attack Mansa Musa at some point. He had good land, and he would have been weak for most of the game. And he's basically been funding our enemies. I don't know this for a fact, but I know his AI. He trades tech like crazy, so he's been giving... He's the reason Ragnar managed to catch up so much and was not that far away from getting rifling. And I know he's wide Darius. I'm having some lag here. Are we crashing? Hello? Oh, there we go. Later Civ turns can be like that sometimes. I know that Darius, the only reason that he's anywhere close to us in tech is because Mansa Musa has been trading with him for the past, yeah, sure, why not? He's been trading with us for the past, you know, forever and a day. Has been trading with him for the past forever and a day. Anyone that Mansa Musa is even slightly friendly with, he will trade techs with like crazy. And trading techs is the way that you get the most research possible. So he can be really dangerous for a human that knows that he can get technologically ahead. On noble difficulty, on lower difficulties, Mansa Musa is probably worse than he is on higher difficulties, because on higher difficulties, the AI gets big bonuses to research, and so you're always really happy when he trades techs, because it's the only way you can keep up. But on lower difficulties, your tech sort of puts you ahead, and then he trades you a tech around because he's a bit of a jerk. He's got these units here in this fort, but I don't think he's going to attack us down here. Nope. I do have uranium. And I do have oil. It's kind of funny, if I hadn't expanded in the way that I had, I'm not sure if this oil would have been in my borders, and so I wouldn't have had oil. Despite having all this territory up here. So everyone in the game would have had oil except for me. Yep. Despite having the most land, there was no oil in it. That's funny. That's the way she goes sometimes. So let's take a moment to actually, even though we're just doing like the long march, let's take a look at other people's starting positions now. Let's see if we guess right. So Saladin had nothing here as far as marble or stone, and that's why he never built any wonders. He's also not particularly inclined to it. Persia had stone, but not very close. And the Mali had stone. Ragnar had nothing as well. So even though we got spooked by the fact that we didn't get any marble or stone in our starting area, actually no one on the map had stone or marble. And if we had been more aggressive with things, we probably could have gotten a lot of other early game wonders. But the thing about Rome is you don't start with mysticism, which means you're pretty unlikely to get a religion, which means it's really hard to force yourself to go down that part of the tech tree early to get the Oracle or the Temple of Artemis, which we did get this game. But you know what I'm saying. You really have to sort of commit to that, and without having the guarantee of getting a religion, in fact, you're really unlikely not to get a religion. It's really hard to convince yourself that that's a good idea. So that's one of the arguments against Rome. You don't start with mysticism. If Rome started with mysticism instead of, I think they start with fishing. If Rome started with mysticism instead of fishing, it would definitely be the strongest, in my opinion. Well, it would be most suited to my play style, is what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't be the strongest. Industrious, apparently, which is one of our, again, civic traits. Our leader traits, actually. We're just sort of building anything in these cities. We should be building infantry, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to steamroll him. And I may as well just improve these cities a little bit. Again, I was saying Industrious is actually pretty bad. Financial is apparently one of the best ones in the game, and I don't rate it very highly at all, so that goes to show that I just don't know how the game works, I guess. But I've never been able to make Financial work. He has assembly line now, that's kind of interesting, but I think I have a big enough military so that he's screwed. We're gonna find out pretty shortly. If he holds his capital, he has enough cavalry to give me a hard time here.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, but the one most responsive to change.
The AI typically doesn't do this sort of thing, but today it is. So we actually got a little bit spooked seeing that one infantry in that city. And in cities where we're pretty close to having everything we want, we're gonna start producing infantry. I think the fact that he didn't manage to attack and wipe out like all my artillery that turn tells us that we're A-okay. 50% chance crossing a river. I don't really want to take a ton of those though. And I would have to take at least like 5 or maybe more. I don't have enough artillery as usual, but our artillery now is kind of bad. Cannons, you know, they're out of date. We still need them though. We'd really like to be in a position where we can roll up to a city, bomb it, and take it that turn. And that's not where we are. We still want universities everywhere. Again, if this war stalemated, we failed to win any sort of definitive victory against him, it would once more come down to science. And so, yeah, I know these units are all dead, but my infantry are gonna steamroll you. Well, not that much, but they are gonna win. Again, we're having connection problems. This may come down to all these macemen that I've kept with this army and haven't bothered to upgrade, which is really funny. Yeah, but they're strong enough to do the deed. If we had left vassal states on, again, war vassal states, we would have won already. Because we would have vassaled Arabia when we pushed him down to those 2 cities in the south. We would have vassaled Ragnar way sooner. Effectively taking him out of the game, but still taking a big portion of his production. And I'm pretty sure Persia would be willing to capitulate at this point. Can't say that for sure. Some of the AI is a lot more resistant than others. But I would certainly have Mansa Musa as my vassal, I think. Unless, I mean, it's possible Persia got him instead. But we were so friendly with Mansa Musa this game that I don't want to believe that might be true. Where did he attack a longbowman? Oh boy. We got lucky as hell there. Well, we had 3 longbowmen. Not that lucky. Lucky enough. So again, maybe we'll spend a turn in this city or 2, and we'll upgrade units while we're here. Because I think it's very unlikely that technology makes or breaks anything else now. Despite the fact that we're talking about how we want universities. I mean, it's possible. I would like communism, though. I don't know if I'm going to be the first there, but you do get a great spy if you are. I can't believe how much espionage he produced this game. I guess, maybe his great unit, or great building, his civilization unique, building, maybe, is related to, espionage, which I didn't realize. I've never played the Persians, and I'm played this game for many years, so I'm probably never going to. Let's see. My god, look at all these wonders we took when we captured his capital. That's pretty cool. He definitely has communism already, actually, because he built the Kremlin here. So, he really was, we're lucky that he didn't go the warpath with technology, because he actually probably was technologically ahead of us.
When I ask why the poor have no food, they call me a communist.
But we found the upper hand anyways. Again, same story as last time, but, you know, we had our advantages, he had ours, and we exploited ours better. We were big, and we were fat, and we were scary. And they did not stop us. And that's why we're winning. Look at all these infantry we have. I mean, this is a lot. Still probably not enough cannons to take a city in 1 turn, though. You need a lot of them later in the game. And if he's still got his cavalry kicking around, he might kill a few. Cavalry have flanking or something? I've never really gotten how that mechanic works completely. I know he's basically circumventing my front line to attack my weaker units, which is annoying. And I think it's by percentage is how it works. He has a percentage chance to do it. So he's throwing his units away, getting killed on my front line, and then every once in a while, on a percentage chance, he kills one of my cannons instead. That might be how it works. And We're actually not convinced that's true. I don't think he actually founded a religion at any point, which is kind of funny. I would have thought he would have, but he's just not, again, he probably doesn't start with mysticism either. This might have been a good game to try and go for my own religion, but I didn't know that when we started. And we had Arabia in the game. I mean, he's a fanatic for sure, in his own way. Not like Isabella, or maybe Justinian, but certainly he is. If we wanted to, we could be, well, no, never mind. He wouldn't want to stop the war. Or he wouldn't want to stop us from stopping the war. I was gonna say that we could be using the Paso Palace to give him unhappiness. Actually, I don't think that's true. Yeah. I'm gonna take the city, and then I'm gonna call it, there. I don't really see any point in continuing. I mean, surely I could just roll over Mansa Musa, but I don't want to. He's my friend, and I'd just rather not. And I could certainly conquer the rest of Persia. If I've conquered these cities, these were his best cities. If I conquered these, I can take these. And these don't look that bad, but they're not, necessary for me, so I think what this comes down to is I've clearly won, and there's no point in drawing this out, so in 2 turns we're gonna end this. Again, if you've only just clicked on this, I won a diplomatic victory just by sort of cheesing it in the previous video, and I showed the end screen and the statistics on that video, so if you're interested in taking a look at that, you can. I don't like it when people in videos without showing like the end screens or statistics, but there's not going to be one for this. Actually, if I hit retire, there might be. We'll see. But there was one in the previous video, so hopefully that's good enough.
So cheap that only the rich will burn candles.
Either way. It's kind of funny. I managed to do quite a lot with Ragnar's land. He had a big production base over here. We're really lucky that he never decided to attack us, after all. Yeah, he was technologically ahead of us. I don't know. If we had gone full research, I think we could have beat him. As far as tech is concerned. The reason we're behind him right now, a lot of it, is that we're spending money on units. I'm just gonna attack. Look at all those 50% chances that we just lost in a row. The RNG in this game is such nonsense, but thankfully it didn't matter in this case. I'm gonna call it here. We've won. There's no point in drawing this out. We could make peace. There's no point in doing so. We're not really leaving a great civilization for the future, but it's sort of, you know, It's a bit like Starship Trooper. We're a military society. we were in this to win this, and we won. Yeah, we could attack Mansa Musa. There's no way he could stop us. Can we see on the graph? Here he is right here. That line is a little hard for me to see. But here he is. He's even weak. Darius is still stronger than him, and we've taken 4 or 5 of Darius's cities. We'll go through the statistics. I still haven't killed as many like infantry as I did longbows and catapults when I fought Saladin. So Saladin had more units than Darius has had. Though I have killed 32 cav. A lot of these grenadiers were from Ragnar. And the trebuchets too. And the musketmen as well. I didn't build many units this game. And by that I mean I didn't build a lot of different types. I built infantry, 80 of them. That's because of factories. They just let you produce units so quickly. 20 macemen, 20 cannons. Not many riflemen. Not many riflemen at all. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at current, not built. Yeah. I think I built the most of. I built a ton of infantry, but we had a long time where I was just building macemen. And produced a ton of those, and upgraded a ton of them too. Also built a lot of mercenaries, missionaries. Just before we go. So Judaism, we spread to all of our cities. And that means it was nearly in every city on the map. But here's one of our other religions, Christianity. We made in-house and spread to our core cities, and Taoism as well. We would have spread these around more and gotten more money, but we've been involved in these wars. Confucianism was Ragnar's religion and also got over here. Buddhism was the Mali religion that he never did anything with and just sort of never went anywhere. And Hinduism was sort of the same thing, except it got into East Persia. Okay. What happens when we hit retire? I don't even remember. Is there no option to hit retire? Is it because we won? We can't retire? I guess it's because we won. So again, we're not going to get another end screen, but we got one in the previous video. Thank you for watching. I'll do more of these, even if nobody watches them. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.